Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. So I just finished the video 0 for 4 and we checked 4 hives that were queenless, and some of them had some emergency cells in them from before, and we went through them to see if any of those emergency cells panned out and we had queens in them. So no, 0 for 4. This is terrible. So anyway, we got to figure out what we're going to do with those hives so I could buy queens. I could do the put a frame of eggs in there from another hive, or I could combine another hive that has a queen on there with them. So that's some things I could do. I don't want to do the brood and egg things in there to start another queen. It's too late in the year. It's mid-June, and it would be mid-July by the time we had a laying queen, and first 2 weeks of August she would start laying, and that's if she even survives the mating flight. And from my luck this year, it's about 20 to 25%, if that. So I'm just going to go ahead and start combining. So what we're going to do in this video, I've got these 4 nukes left over here. I sold 2 last night to a nice guy from Rush Springs, came up and bought them from me, and the 2 that worked out. So I have 1 left over here that is cutout I did Saturday, and we have a queen in there, and I'll show you that queen, and I'll show you how I have the comb from the cutout set up in there. And the second one from the left had 2 supersedure cells in it on the 8th, and today is the 16th. So 8 days ago we had some supersedure cells in there. So hopefully we've got 2 queens over there, and I know we've got 1. So we got 4 bad hives, 2 queens, and I've got 2 hives off in the woods in slots 29 and 30. I'll probably move out of the woods onto one of these and newspaper combine them there. So let's get in these nukes real quick and see what we find. I know one is the second from the right it's laying worker. It's no good, so not even going to go into that one. So let's get over there and see what we find and see how we're going to prepare to take care of these other hives that need a queen. Okay, here's our 4 little nukes. So one on the left, they were out of supersedure cells and it was queenless. This one has 2 supersedure cells left in it. This one's the cutout, and you can see I put over the entrance a queen excluder. So that's plastic queen excluder, and I just cut that with my knife and put it over the front and screw it on there. So if that queen is not happy with her new home, she can't leave and the other bees won't leave. So that will prevent an abscond. And this one here is laying workers. I don't know if I'll even go into that. So let's start over here on the left and check this one out first. Using these big bricks because these OSB lids I made, they tend to warp on you. They don't stay flat. So there's a lot of bees in here. I shook a bunch in here and put some brood frames, and I want them to have plenty of bees to make that split, and it just ain't working out. Mostly empty, a little bit of bee bread there. And they're putting nectar in here. So we have capped honey here. That's probably from the donor, and they're putting nectar, and there's a little bit of pollen in here. There's a queen in here. This is where she'd be laying. And this was a donor frame that had a lot of eggs on it at one time to make a queen. There's a few cells left out here that haven't emerged. So this one will go laying worker before long, because there's no brood in here. Yeah, so here's our emerged queen cell right here. I know it's emerged because it's nice and uniform on the end, and where the queen chewed her way out, and it's not cut out on the side where another queen killed it. So we had a queen in here at one time. So it's mostly backfilled up with nectar here. No hope for this one. So I'll probably take one of these others and combine on top of this just temporarily. Okay, this is the next one down the line. This will be 32, if anybody's keeping track of numbers. Now this one had hope still. There were 2 supersedure cells in here, I think. At least one, I know. So mostly nectar there. Same thing here. Bee bread. Just a little bit of brood left from when we did put the donor frames in here. No eggs. No eggs. So this frame was notched on May 23rd on this side. So you can see there was a queen cell, there was a queen cell, there was one. But no queen ever got out and mated and made it back. Nope, no queen. Let's show you this cutout real quick. Yeah, so on this cutout, about halfway through, somehow my vacuum got cranked up on maximum suction, and it killed the majority of the bees, and I never found the queen. And when the guy was here to pick up the nuke, we looked in here real quick, and I actually found her. So this comb was it was a brand new comb, and it was very, very you just touch it and it just crumples in your hand. It was so soft. So it was hard to rubber band in there. But so that's how you rubber band in when you take a hive out of a place, like a house or a tree or whatever. You rubber band their comb in, and you got to keep the orientation the same. This is the top and that's the bottom. And there's a few little capped brood right there. And same thing here. And I put a little bit of honey in here for them too. So there's some capped brood. I tried to get all of the brood that they had. So there were 5 or 6 combs, and 3 or 4 of them were pretty good sized. So here you can see some bigger ones. And that's mostly brood. So these bees, so I added a frame here from another hive that's got honey on it to give them some food. So you see them festooning, so they're going to be pulling comb, building that up. This is pollen, and that was probably full of honey before. Actually, they didn't have honey. It was very runny nectar. And last night the queen was on this frame right here. Looks like I'm not going to find her. There's a lot of bees on the wall down in here. She may be on there. So this is full of nectar and honey. So they've got plenty of food. They could probably use some pollen though. Could very well be in this cluster right here. Well, we're not going to find her. But we know she hasn't left because the excluder's over the front. Okay, I'm not even going to go into this one. It's full of laying workers. I know that, so it's no need in wasting my time and your time. But so we've got one queen in here for sure, and we've got 4 bad hives. So I'm probably going to take 2 of the hives out of the woods and then use this one and pick one of those others and combine it with another single deep that's in here somewhere. And let's see, that'll put us down to 30, 29, 26 hives, I think. So just preparing, getting ready for fall, and with our hives and our populations and getting queen right. Next thing I'm going to do is need to do a honey check and see where we're at on all of that. We'll harvest probably about mid-July. Right now, the bees are curing the honey. They've collected probably 95% of everything they're going to get in this spring flow. It's summer now, and the flow is pretty much ending. It hadn't rained here in quite some time, so it's pretty dry, so that slows it down too. So they're curing the honey, and we're going to get ready for our harvest and start getting our equipment ready to do the harvest and all of that. See how many buckets we've got and all that. And I did order some new buckets that are a heavier mill than I used last year, because I had 3 or 4 of them cracked right across the bottom, and I lost a lot of honey. And that was no good. So anyway, I'm going to end the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Y'all take care.